Good afternoon again, people. America, the Scott and the Shot coming live from Gridley, California. This is Scott and the Shot. So let me take a shot before I start talking some serious shit. Today I'm drinking Jose Cuervo. You know, it's not the most expensive, but this was back in the day. This was the stuff that people bought in bars that was more expensive. Now they got a million different kinds. But this is the stuff that people used to buy in the bar. Even back in the 80s, it was $5 a shot. There we go. Oof. All right. You know, all this stuff going on over in the Ukraine and Russia, over in Russia and Ukraine. You know, I am an American. I'm a hardcore American, and I believe that we have the strongest military in the world. You know, if everybody wants to be all in on this Russia thing, and I mean, sooner or later we're going to have to confront some of our adversaries. That's just a fact. I don't think Putin's stupid enough to push that button. I mean, honestly, but you never know. I guess you never know. I mean, since America's the only one that's ever used an atom bomb in World War II, I mean, it can happen. But, you know, I don't like seeing Ukrainians die. I don't like seeing anybody die. I say that on my podcast. Sometimes I don't give a shit about the Ukrainians, but that's because politics in this country makes it hard. The politics in America makes it hard to be caring about these other countries when we had a president like Joe Biden. We have a Senate and a Congress with all these Democrats in it that honestly they're just stupid and retarded. Now, I definitely wouldn't want to confront Russia or China with the Democratic Party being, you know, in control of things. But Donald Trump is there now. But let's look at this. Let's look at this realistically, though. Over the last 4 years, Joe Biden he pretty much almost emptied out our strategic oil supply. So if something happens here, we're going to be short on oil. On oil in case something gets bought. I mean, it's a reserve for emergencies. Well, Joe Biden pretty much depleted it to bring gas prices down for a little short period of time during his administration to make everybody feel all warm and cozy inside. But it was only a month here and a month there. I mean, that's how much gas and fuel that the world uses. So we're short on oil. That's fuel grade oil. I mean, so when Donald Trump says drill baby drill, we have to drill baby drill. We need to be supplying as much oil as possible because most of the whole world uses fossil fuels. We cannot be short on fossil fuels. And Joe Biden let our military turn into a bunch of girls with this transgender thing. In our military. Sitting there bowing down to these transgenders, which is just a homosexual, just like that general, that admiral that's in the Navy or the Air Force that I don't even want to say its name, but he's just a man dressed like a girl, and that makes us a laughing stock to the world. So a lot of countries think the ones that matter think that we're weak. Thank God for Pete Hegseth. I mean, but when it comes to going to war with the country, I don't know if I want to do that unless we have somebody like Donald Trump in office, which we do right now. I mean, we backed out of Afghanistan. We basically took off their tail between our legs. Remember that? The planes going down the runway, and all the Afghanistan people were hanging off the airplane saying, please don't leave. And we left anyway. We left billions of dollars of equipment. We left a major Air Force base without blowing up any of the runways or anything. We didn't blow up none of the ammunitions we left there. We didn't blow up any of the arms that were left there. We didn't blow up any of the military equipment, the trucks and the Apache helicopters. We left them there. We left everything there. I mean, as far as I know, we're short on ammo. We're short on a lot of things military wise when it comes to fighting a major war. Russia's building that. They've been in war now for a couple of years. They're producing things like we've never seen. They're going at it. So my point about when it comes to us going to war, I mean, with Americans being there, right now we're a little shorthanded. And then Joe Biden opened up our southern border and the northern border, basically, because they were coming over. Illegals are coming in all sides of us. 21 million, they think, altogether. I mean, in 4 years, 21 million illegal aliens in this country that we have to support until we get rid of them all. And right now, they keep talking just the ones that are criminals. We need to get rid of them all. They don't speak English. I'm tired of talking to somebody's cell phone at a store because they don't speak a drop of English, and they'll probably never even try to learn English. There's a lot of people in this country, really, you don't realize that, people that actually live, that've been here for a couple generations, and they speak hardly any English. They go to places like East Los in Los Angeles. They go to like Chinatown and San Francisco, New York, and all the big cities. And then because the culture's so strong, these little pockets in our country, they never learn English. So we have a major problem in this country, people. We need everybody that comes to this country needs to speak English. That is the language of the land. And Donald Trump shouldn't have had to make an executive order in order for people to understand that. We can't let people come to this country illegally that don't want to learn our language. They want to just work here and live here for forever and ever and never learn the language. I mean, I had friends in high school where their grandparents didn't talk much English, and they'd been here for a long, long time. I mean, how would you? I mean, if you went, if an American, English-speaking American went to any other country, nobody's going to cow down to you because you don't know their language. They're going to look down on you. They're going. I mean, not everybody. Some people are just like me. I'm cool with everybody. But I mean, you need, it's a respect thing. You go there, you learn the language, you assimilate. That's the word, assimilation. And they're not doing that. So when it comes to fighting wars in other lands right now, I think America's a little weak because of the Democratic Party. So I don't want to see Ukrainians die. I don't want to see Israelis die either. It's like Israel cutting off the aid to the Gaza Strip right now. Well, they should. All those people that are Palestinians voted for Hamas to run their government in the Gaza Strip. Well, how far did that get them? I mean, I saw the videos of them parading those dead bodies of those civilians that got killed on October 7th, and little kids out there with the little flag. Everybody, it's a big party, but they want us to feel sorry for them. I do feel sorry for them that they're kept ignorant and they keep being bullied. I mean, do you honestly think if everybody that lived in the Gaza Strip, especially the men, got tired of Hamas, there's probably 100,000 Hamas soldiers. I mean, and there's millions of Palestinians. If they got tired of it, they could take them over. They could do a revolt, like you see in a lot of countries, and they could take that government over and say, "Here, Israel, here's these fucking losers, and we don't want them here no more." But it's going to cost lives. But how many lives has the Palestinians lost already from their government sneaking over the border and killing women and children, raping them 100 times over, and then they're crying about not getting aid? I mean, that you voted them into office. I mean, I don't want to see people starve to death, but people. I mean, where do you draw the line on how much America does for the whole world? It's not just the Palestinians that our government's trying to help. It's not just the Israelis are trying to help. It's not the Ukrainians trying to help. We help the whole world out. China's not helping the whole world out. Russia's not helping the whole world out. It's all on the backs of American workers and the American citizen. That's where I have the problem at. Now, if we want to go to war with Russia, if we really want to go to war, if it's not going to be like in Afghanistan, I want it to be like Iraq, where we walked into Iraq after we got all of our troops there in 45 days. Whatever it was. It wasn't long. I want them bomb the shit out of. I want them doing indiscriminate bombs. I want them bombing the shit out of Russia and killing as many Russians as they can, civilian or military, and that's how you take out Russia. Do you know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna, if we're gonna go over there and help out the Ukrainians, if we're gonna go, I mean, then we need to make sure that we're all in. And right now, I don't see a Congress and a Senate that's all in on anything. Donald Trump's probably all in, but we don't have the senators and congressmen in office that have the backbone or the stomach to do a real war to where there's an actual winner in a short period of time. Now, I think if we went to war with Russia, they tried to blow off a fucking nuclear weapon, I honestly think that every other country would be sending them over there, not just America. Russia would be wiped off the face of the earth. I mean, maybe that needs to happen. Maybe it needs to happen. Even China would, because China really doesn't want it to go nuclear either. Nobody really does. And Putin going on TV and in his own country and saying that he's willing to go nuclear. Well, then that's on him. If you want the demise of the Russian people, then I guess do it. But I just don't think we have the stomach for it right now. I mean, I'm all for American. I'm an American, man. I'm a realist. I know that there's going to be wars, but I just don't want to see a war that we have to cow down and back out of Afghanistan. We could have took out Afghanistan so easy. I mean, but we don't want to win. It's all about fucking bullshit. I mean, wars cost lives, people. This is Scott in a Shot. Wars cost lives. And the only thing that stops wars is by civilian populations getting killed in a number to where even somebody in that government doesn't want to see their civilization extinguished. I mean, exterminated. I mean, but that's how you really win a war. We won Iraq really in a real short period of time after 9/11. And I don't want to get into the politics of it. It was the Saudis that did 9/11 and all that. I'm just saying that we went over there and we whooped their fucking ass. We bombed the shit out of them, and when we were cruising down those sand dirt roads, they were running out of their little holes in the ground saying, "I give up. I don't even want to do this no more." That's how you win a war. That's how you win a war, people. All these little smart strikes here and there, trying to just get hierarchy. That doesn't win a war. It prolongs the war, just like it did, just like Afghanistan, just like the Israelis and the Hamas and Hezbollah. We always keep them hamstringed, so they just can't go in there and take care of business. If we just undid the handcuffs off Israel, they would go over there and take out Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas. They would just handle it all. But we want to hamstring people, and that's not how you win wars. That's how you keep it going, generation after generation after generation. And I mean, when it comes to people losing their lives, even civilians, I just don't want to see bombs dropping on America with civilians, with our civilization dying, our citizens, our people, our kids, our grandkids, our grandparents, our family, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers. That's what I care about. I mean, but war is always going to be there, and we have to pick and choose, and sometimes you don't have a choice. But right now, the Democrats ran out of Afghanistan, not the Republicans, and now they're pushing for Donald Trump to be stupid, talking to Russia. I mean, if this whole country decides we want to go to Russia, then I'm all in. I think we can take out Russia in a fucking month, unless they use nukes. But if they use a nuke, they're gonna be annihilated, and we might take some hits over here too. But eventually that's probably going to happen, people. Eventually it's probably going to happen. I mean, look at world history. Every nation that's ever ruled the world or didn't rule the world, they just end up getting stupid, hungry for power, hungry for money. I mean, it is what it is. But honestly, with all these Democrats in office and a few of these Republicans that really aren't Republicans, I don't think. I mean, I just don't see how we have the stomach for it. We have the stomach for going over and spending trillions of dollars in a 20-year war, and like Afghanistan, like Vietnam, it wasn't 20 years, but Vietnam, or Korea. We have this money to do all that, but we don't have the stomach to just go and handle our business. People, war is near. I say it all the time, it's not pretty. People die, innocent people die. But it seems like that's the only thing that really stops an aggressor. I mean, you can sit there and kill their troops here and there and all that, but I mean, it really doesn't stop it. It just makes the war go on longer and longer and longer. And I'd like to see the Ukrainian people have democracy, but Europe's right there. You're telling me Russia has a military? I mean, conventional wise, with conventional weapons, Russia hasn't even been able to take over Ukraine yet. I mean, you're telling me that France, England, Ireland, and all those countries together can't take out Russia? I mean, really? I mean, why does it always have to be America making the first move? I mean, it's like we're the whole world's parents. I mean, without our support, without us going, it'll be okay. They can't do it. But then when we're not in war, they screw us on tariffs. They screw us on fucking trade every in and out. What are we doing here? Everything has to be reciprocal, and everybody has to have everybody's back. Everybody that's in NATO needs to pay their 5%, 5 or 10%. The world's a crazy place, like it has been. What part of this world's crazy doesn't people understand? It was crazy 500 years ago. It was crazy 1,000 years ago. It was crazy 2,000 years ago. It was crazy 3,000 years ago. I mean, countries rule the world, they get taken out. This country rules the world, they get taken out. On and on and on and on and on. So while America is ruling the world right now, basically, we got China knocking at the door, want to try to rule the world. We need to stay strong as a country. And you Democrats that are out there in the streets singing Kumbaya and all that crazy crap, you need to get on board with what's really going on in the world. Crazy people don't want to see these little freaks on TV singing and crying. They hate that. That makes them just want to attack us more. And what Donald Trump's doing in Mexico, we need to say, fuck you, Mexico. They allowed all this illegal immigration to come to our country. And Mexico didn't make no money on it. Maybe they probably did. The cartels are paying them. And we're paying them. But we got a new sheriff in town now. These cartels need to be exterminated. Exterminated. Because they're trying to exterminate the American people. They're trying to exterminate a lot of countries with their illegal drug sales, their human trafficking. That's what they do. That's how they make their money. When are we going to stop that? When are we going to truly designate the cartels of Mexico a direct threat to the United States and take them out permanently? And Mexico they don't have the power, not even close to stop us, and we shouldn't even be listening to their corrupt, fucking stupid talk. If you can stop us, Mexico, then stop us. But if you can't, you need to sit back and get on board, because we need to take out these cartels that for many years. I used to do cocaine in the 80s. I mean, it's all from Mexico. Meth, it's all from Mexico. Mexico needs to be handled. Mexico needs to be handled. They're on our southern border tenfold with illegal activity. I mean, and this human trafficking. Human trafficking. Isn't that crazy? Why doesn't Mexico get its shit together and start educating their people, getting them out of mud huts and shit like that, living in all the outskirts of Mexico is just ghetto and poor? Why don't they educate their people so they don't want to come here? Stop letting the cartels tell them what to do, and take your military and fight these cartels. They're not as strong as people think. They got a lot of money, but they don't have militaries. They don't have tanks. They don't have F-16s and Raptor jets. They don't have nothing. They're nothing. These cartels are nothing. They're a fly on a horse's ass, but they're something because we allow them to be something. Our government, our CIA, our NSA, they've been involved with these cartels for a while. We've been allowing that to come over. You're telling me the most powerful country in the world can't stop a few cartels from getting illegal drugs over that border, from the human trafficking they're doing? No, they can. They don't want to. Why don't they want to? They love keeping us divided as a society in America. They love to keep us divided. They want to keep us high. So we don't have enough people with sane minds in this country to give any kind of opposing opinion on when our government's fucking up. I'm not saying America's perfect, people. Government. I mean, it's obvious. They've been allowing these cartels for many decades. They've been allowing it. Make no mistake about it. I don't know if we're getting money out of it. I don't know what we're getting out of this arrangement that America has behind the scenes with the cartels. And I hope Donald Trump handles that. But until the world starts being a little less corrupt, a lot less corrupt, we're not going to solve these problems. The reason why we have these problems is because every government is corrupt. China, Russia, America, the UK, French, the Irish, the Welsh. They all got an element of deceit in their government that they hide from their people, and we need to cure that. And we started by electing Donald Trump for the first term he was in office, and then the Democrats, with their corruption, with their lies, with their filthy fucking way of thinking, tried to impeach him. They tried to throw him in prison, all because he was pointing it out. I mean, but this is some real shit we're talking here, people. I mean, we need to stop the corruption. We need DOJ to go in and figure out what's really going on. We need to get rid of all these government officials, these government workers that are all whining and crying, just like every other American has cried in their life when they lost a job. It's nothing new, people. They're acting like they're the first American in our time. Well, if you were smart enough to get a job with the federal government, I would like to think that you're smart enough to find another job. I mean, especially when you've been there being a leaker, leaking information out like they've been doing for years now. These leaks have been happening a lot since Obama was in office. These fucking Democrats, man, they're sick. They have no fucking no morals, no standards, no class, and they're all, as far as I'm concerned, they're all mentally challenged. I mean, how else did we allow somebody to start trying to make a subspecies called a transgender, who is just a cross-dressing homosexual who likes to mutilate their body, which I always thought was illegal. You know, what else? What does self-mutilization mean? Just because somebody says they're a girl or a boy when they're actually born, that's not self-mutilization. That's different. Where else do you see people mutilating themselves? I don't see it. The only time I see it is when an actor and actress goes and cuts their face up like so many actresses and actors do to try to stay looking young. And these homosexuals that we pander to cut off their body parts in some disguise because they truly believe they can be the opposite sex. I mean, what all these laws we have in this country, and half of them are not enforced. You cannot self-mutilate yourself. You cannot do suicide. I mean, you just can't go blow your fucking brains out without being sent to some kind of home to figure out why you tried to blow your brains out, because that means that person's dangerous. Don't you understand that? I mean, but everything in this country is a facade. There's so many facades going on, so many disguises is the word that describes the facade as fake. It's not real. And it's all to keep us confused and fighting with each other and to keep us all under the thumb. And Donald Trump is the first politician I've seen in my lifetime, except for Ronald Reagan, to where he can't be bought off because he's a real American. He has his own money, and he's worried about the future of our country. When I say the future of our country, I mean the future of our children, our families. I mean, honestly, our families, not the families of these illegal aliens that are trying to sneak over our border, claim fake asylum when all they are poor and ignorant. It's not our job in a modern society. This isn't the 1800s. Bring your poor. I mean, it's not that no more, people, because we're $40 trillion almost in debt. It can't be that no more. If we're going to go into debt anymore in this country, it has to be for supporting American citizens and protecting our country from our enemies. That is what that money needs to be spent on. Not these programs to change to make transgender mices, to do Sesame Street transgender bullshit, to do transgender operas in another country, and to pay these special interests in our education department to fuck up our kids in school to where they get out knowing what a transgender is, but they don't know that their math, reading, civics, history, science. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here. I mean, our country right now, I don't feel is in a position to go to war with Russia. We don't have the spine. We don't have the backbone for a lot. I mean, and everything make no mistake about it, people. Everything Donald Trump is doing right now, sooner or later, the Democrats are going to try to impeach him, just like they did in the first term when he did nothing wrong. They're going through every word he says, the fine tooth comb, to see if anything even sounds weird. I mean, if Donald Trump tries to make a peace agreement with Russia, they're going to say he's a hidden Russian spy and he's trying to ruin our country, all because he's trying to create peace. I mean, that's what the Democratic Party's turned into. A bunch of fucking weirdos who don't get the real world. All they care about is being able to cut their face up, cut off their body parts, and love homosexuals that think they can become the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all they care about. How are we going to go to war with right now if we have half this country is fucked up in the head like that? I mean, I think we ought to fucking enact the fucking what do they call that? Where you get draft? I mean, the draft. All these kids need to be made to go to our military and learn a little American fucking pride. I mean, that's my kid. One of my sons went in the military. I got lots. I mean, I got family members that are generational military people. I mean, we have to have respect for our country, respect for the Constitution, and stop crying and whining about somebody's sexual preference. If we want to be strong on the world stage, we have to have reciprocal trade deals with these countries so things are fair. I mean, all these other countries that have tariffs on us, I don't see them going into recession. I don't see them having problems with the inflation. But all you hear is says we're going to put tariffs on you. It might raise the price a little bit, but like I said in my last podcast, buy American. It doesn't matter if it costs a little bit more. We just had inflation go up 15, 20% in my mind from what I've seen in the prices for transgender bullshit and fucking the Green New scam. I mean, but we can't have the price go up a little bit for things that really matter. I mean, the things that really matter, like security, American pride. I mean, built in America, made in America. I mean, seriously, people, if you don't want to be poor, then get a fucking job, get a life, get an education. But don't blame the rest of the world if you're a drug addict sitting in a house with no money because you're waiting for that welfare check. I mean, don't blame the rest of the world for your fucking problems. I mean, everybody has the same shot in this country. Look at Ben Carson, one of the best fucking surgeons ever. I mean, ever. He's a black man, born in poverty. That shows you right there that you can make it. Some people make it, some people don't. But it's not up for the rest of the world to worry if you make it or not. Ultimately, it comes to individual responsibility, even for a child. I've been thinking the same way that I think right now since I was a little baby kid. I mean, kids think a lot of things when they're young, and their personalities don't really change throughout time. I mean, I can remember when I was 6 years old thinking, "Hey man, that girl's really hot." I mean, and I can think. I mean, I'm serious, people. We're the same people as we were when we were little. We're just grown up, and we have the power and the right at a certain age to go your own direction. That's why some people get along with their parents because they believe in that, and some kids when they get older, no matter how you raise them, they go another direction. You cannot sit there and dwell on it any more than that. I mean, that's reality, people. Some people get ahead in life, and some people never do. But we can't worry about the people that never get ahead in life because they have to worry about themselves. And if they get down and out so far that they can't handle it anymore, when you hit rock bottom, like a lot of drug addicts, I'm not gonna lie to people. I used to do a lot of drugs when I was younger, a lot of partying, but I worked hard. I knew that I had to work hard because that's the way I was raised, and I wanted to work hard. And I was a boss at every job I was at, high all the time. It's not rocket science, people. You just have to choose the right way in life. Do I want to work for my partying material? Do I want to steal for it? Do I want to kill for it? That's on you. And the people that do the wrong things for it, I don't know if you can ever help them out. They're just not right in the head from a lot of different reasons. But it's not up for us to worry about it. I mean, not very much anyway. I'm just being honest with you. So right now, I hope that the Ukrainians figure out their way. I hope they understand that when Donald Trump says we have an invested interest in getting those minerals over there, that's a way of us having their back. Without Donald Trump disrespecting Putin and getting him to walk away from the table, it's not going to hurt us; it's going to hurt them. I mean, Russia's not going to try to attack us. They already know better. Russia's already seen by the Ukraine that they can't even. They're nothing without a nuclear weapon. They're nothing to America. We can wipe them out so fast. It's nothing. They know that. They know that. I mean, so people stop worrying so much, but we need to think about what you advocate for, and realize that you can't solve every individual person's problems. We can't solve every country's problems. Sooner or later they have to solve them for themselves, like with Israel and Hamas and Hezbollah. I say, with Israel, honestly, kill them all, kill everybody until these factions stop attacking your people and killing you. I mean, the Israeli people have been through enough throughout time. They don't need anybody coming over their borders, cutting through a fence during a music festival and killing women and children that are at the festival, that are in their homes down the road, raping the women 100 times over. They don't need that. And I'm going to let them do what they got to do to solve that problem. And that comes with lives. That's why they bomb the shit out of the Gaza Strip. And so be it. So be it. They voted that government into office. It's the people's fault. If they can't fight against their own government and try to change a dictatorship or a government that's ran that they voted in that's terrorist, that's on them. I mean, it's not our problem. They all made their own bed. It's not really America's problem to go around solving everybody's problem. How far has that been getting us? We've been trying to solve all these countries' problems for a long time now. Are they solved? Hell no. It has to be done by those people in their own country. They need to figure it out. And America needs to help them out a little bit. But then we need to stand aside and say, you handle your business and roll the dice and see what happens. And make sure that our country's safe. Our people are safe. That's what I care about. I don't want to see bombs dropping on my family, your family, other citizens of our country. That is the most important thing to me. I don't have the luxury of living 1,000 years to worry about these other countries. They have to worry about their own existence or extinction. I mean, when it comes right down to it, America right now is supporting the whole rest of the world. We have to stop. That's on the taxpayer. And a lot of these people in this country don't even work. So it's only on some of the taxpayers. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is Scott the Shot. I hope I talked a little bit of sense into somebody. I think most people the few people that watch my podcast already understand what I'm saying. But we need to stop worrying so much about everybody besides ourselves. Everybody's worried about America. Well, America needs to worry about America. And if we got to pay more to buy American, to build American, to live American, then we need to do it. Because I'm tired of being reliant on these other countries for medicine, for things. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm buzzing. This has gotten a shot, and you guys have a good day.